Well, good afternoon and welcome. We hope you guys have had a great afternoon so far, and if not, hopefully we make it a little bit better. So imagination is your only limitation. My name's Nick, this is Marnie, Kira, and Jordan. Unfortunately, our fifth member, Tommy, couldn't make it today, but he sends his wishes from Toronto. We're Team Lucky 13. We're here to talk about Blue Rover technology and the opportunity currently facing Advanced Assets Tracking Systems Incorporated. So, the opportunity itself. You've now created this product, the Blue Rover, and it can be applied to any market and has unlimited possibilities. So the real question is, where are you going to go and how are you going to get there? We created a few success factors necessary in order to come up with a proper solution. First one being a strong need for the product in the industry we end up entering. So this for us means that it's something that while Blue Rover can be applied to any market in general, we wanted this to be an industry that would actually have a drive for it and pull it into the market itself as a need and basically a huge application for the product itself. We wanted high sales volume with great market potential. So per location, we were expecting more than one unit per location because we wanted to see how far we can actually go with this product and see the highest sales possible. We also wanted to maximize the product's capabilities. So for us, this meant making sure that the industry was applying all of the uses of the product itself and not just inventory management or just tracking. We also wanted to establish brand awareness, but this is obvious. We wanted to enter a market where you'd be able to be known and where you'd be able to establish yourselves as a leader in the machine-to-machine communications. What we came up with was an expansion into the North American mining industry. Because of this, we've created an integrated marketing communications campaign focused around the motto, imagination is your only limitation.
So now you're probably wondering, why should you enter into the mining industry? Well, one of those reasons is due to the great market potential. In Canada and the US alone, there are 22,687 mines. Now, based on the prediction that you will be able to get 2 units within each mine, and now keep in mind the fact that this is a very conservative figure, based on the varying sizes of the mine, which range from 1.5 kilometers to 15 kilometers, and compare this to the approximate range of the Blue Rover, which can be up to 2 kilometers, you can see that 2 units within each mine is very conservative. And now through our research, we were also able to determine that there are approximately 5 above ground transportation trucks per mine. So assuming you will be able to get 1 unit within each truck, this is an approximate 7 units per mine for a potential market of $270 million. Now, due to the fact that these companies do like to monitor the shipment of their products very closely, it will be much easier for your company to enter into the transportation side of things as well. So when you take into consideration the fact that mining product shipments represent 54% of Canadian rail freight revenue and 60 to 75% of Canadian port tonnage, you can see that there's huge opportunity here for the Blue Rover to enter. And as I was saying before, because these companies are so keen on monitoring their shipments, it will make it easier for you to enter the transportation side of the mining industry as well.
In today's economy, the need for the Blue Rover technology is as strong as ever, with mining companies being concerned with monitoring air quality, ventilation, emission, and oxygen levels in order to ensure that a safe work environment is created for their employees, managing inventory in such a way that minimizes the risk of theft and damaged goods, increase productivity via tracking and monitoring machinery for more accurate and reliable results, which can also help managers with their day-to-day operations by ensuring that employees are using the machinery to their full capacity. And finally, to incorporate an element of product shipping and tracking into their operations in a clear, concise, and time-efficient manner. All of these needs can be accomplished and exceeded by the Blue Rover technology in one unified and automated system. With an 116% increase in industry research and design expenditure and $140 billion in investments in new projects within the next 10 years, the time is now for Blue Rover to help to build a network of potential clients for future expansion.
Okay, so through our research, we were fortunate enough to be able to get in contact with a man named Anthony McCooch. And Now, Anthony McCooch is president and CEO of Lakeshore Gold Corporation, which is one of the currently competing gold mining companies. He was really able to give us a better understanding of the mining industry, not just within the tunnels of the mines, but also on the transportation side, as I was mentioning before. For example, he was explaining to us that when they ship their product, they have to weigh the truck at the beginning, weigh it at the end, and depending on the distance, potentially at various destination points in between as well. And he was elaborating on this and saying that it's really just not efficient for the companies to do this right now. So that was one of the examples. He was also able to confirm our previous research, as Kira was mentioning before, about the various needs, which include the monitoring and tracking of the equipment, the remote managing of it from above ground, ensuring certain productivity levels and performance levels, ensuring employee safety by monitoring the air emissions and the oxygen levels, and of course, inventory management as well. But the key thing we took away from Anthony McCooch was not just him confirming our research, but his strong interest in the product as well. Through various phone calls and emails, it wasn't just a matter of us asking him about the mining industry, but he was very intrigued about the product itself, to the point where he decided to go read about it on his own and then get back to us at a later time. His own words were that this product is something useful in the mining industry. We know that there is an interest for this product. Now it is just a matter of getting to these mining companies and making them aware of what the Blue Rover is and exactly what it can do.
So now that you know why we've entered the mining industry, I'm going to tell you guys how exactly to penetrate this market, but more importantly, how you guys are going to make money, because I think that's why we're all here today. One of the main problems that you guys are going to face when entering this industry first is a lack of brand awareness, because no one's going to know what the Blue Rover is and what it can do. But that's not a problem, because we're going to have a list here of some promotional tools that are targeted towards businesses, because that's who we're going to be selling to. And we're also going to be incorporating the slogan, "Imagination is your only limitation." We think this is going to give great buzz and publicity around the actual product, because it's just really catchy to read, so we're going to incorporate it with the promotional tools. The first way we want you to advertise the Blue Rover to get exposure is we want you guys to go to the Canadian Mining Expo that's held once a year outside of Timmins, Ontario. This is a great way to give the Blue Rover initial exposure, because this is where some of the biggest mining corporations come to see the newest and latest technology that the mining industry has to offer. What you guys will be doing is setting up a booth and having trained sales staff that are well aware about what the product can do, and they can engage with company executives to let them know what the Blue Rover is and how it can benefit their company. We believe this is going to help give it great initial exposure. Another promotional tool that we want to use is we want to redesign your website. We want to make it a little more user-friendly, and we're going to do this in two ways. We want to add an optimized search engine bar to help make it easier, so you don't have to click all the way around. You can just type in keywords to find certain information. And we also want to add an e-commerce page to the website, so customers and businesses can actually purchase the product online following easy steps, and to give them additional information about any other financing options that are associated with the purchase of the Blue Rover. The last type of advertising that we want you to use is we want you to buy a full-page print ad in the Canadian Mining Magazine. And on the next slide, I can actually show you here what the print ad is going to look like. So we have the Blue Rover label at the top, as well as quickly what it can do, so it sort of catches the reader's attention. But the coolest part about this print ad is actually the barcode right in the middle. What you guys can do right now is you guys can pull out your smartphones, you can scan the barcode right from where you're sitting, and it's going to redirect you to the company website. So not only are you going to be really caught on about what the Blue Rover is and want to know more about it, but you're actually going to be able to find more about it because the barcode's right there and you're going to be redirected to the company website. Once we feel that we've generated enough initial demand and we're actually going to start building a clientele basis, we think the next best move for you is to find new leasing space in Guelph. This is because you're going to need to fill new positions such as account managers, as well as an increased marketing and sales staff. So we feel that that's a really good way for you guys to help build your organizational structure to combat the demand that you're going to be facing. Now, the whole implementation plan is going to come down to one thing, and that's the personal selling aspect. What you guys are going to have to do at the beginning is hire at least 3 sales staff, and their main goal is to be going to travel all throughout North America and pitch presentations. They're going to be coming in with a great knowledge about the product. They're going to be using a wide variety of multimedia tools such as PowerPoints, demonstrations, as well as videos to make a very informative and persuasive pitch to try and help facilitate that purchase. Now, it just so happens that by moving to Guelph, you're only around a 45-minute drive from Toronto, and Toronto happens to be one of the biggest headquarters for some of the biggest mining corporations all throughout Canada. So in the short term, we feel that it's best for your company to actually hit these mining companies first. And then once in the medium and long term, you guys can branch out and hit more mines located all throughout North America. Now, the last part of our implementation plan is we wanted to add an incentive. We wanted to make sure that when someone was buying your product, that we were going to add value to it. So So what we want to do is we want to add a free customizable user interface. What this means is that when a company buys your Blue Rover, they're going to come to you and tell you exactly how they want to read their data on their computer screen or on their smartphone to make it a lot easier for them to figure out to see how they're measuring their efficiency and other things that the Blue Rover is crunching in terms of data. We believe that this is also going to help customize the product and tailor-make it towards the actual mines themselves, and it will help create a greater incentive to purchase the product. So in conclusion, by using this implementation plan, you guys are going to become a lot more profitable, and since the application of this idea can be expanded globally, we hope to be in mines all throughout the world within the upcoming years.
So let's talk about the money a little bit. If we capture 2% of the market in 2013, we can see upwards of over $6 million in net income. This is only, and 2% is very conservative, considering that there's no current competitors focusing on the mining industry for the machine-to-machine communications. Also, the benefits sought are exactly what the Blue Rover can provide to the market itself. So that's what we can see in the coming year. However, as you can see earlier on, they were looking to expand in their innovation and technology for the coming years. So the forecasted growth. And we can see by 2017, over $19 million in potential gross profit from the mining industry sales alone. So clearly by entering this market, there's a huge opportunity for growth and profit unseen in other markets. With that, imagination is your only limitation. So the question is, how will you innovate? This is our recommendation, and thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
So, to get back to the numbers, last thing you said, they're based on the North American mining industry.
Yes.
Just to clarify, the net income figure that he listed at the beginning was also inclusive of your predetermined customer orders that we were given under the case information. But the second number he listed for gross profit in 2017 was purely gross profit from the mining industry.
And what kind of individuals do you think we should hire, the three new, what kind of background do you think?
Well, we think they do need some extensive background, but the whole thing and what's great about your company is you already have engineers that know exactly what the product is. So we feel that by hiring, like a great sales staff that's coming in, a lot of it's actually going to be your engineers, like prepping them and filling them in on what the Blue Rover can do. We're also open to actually bringing maybe on an engineer to actually go more into the specifications. But we feel that because you guys have been working on this product for so long and that so many people know about it, that's actually not going to be too hard to transfer the knowledge from an engineer to a sales consultant who's a lot more charismatic, and we feel that can actually sell the product as opposed to an engineer. Someone who has more charisma and is trained.
He has had a low. I think I understand what you're saying.
Sorry.
Were you able to do any ROI calculations for the company itself? I mean, it was great say, it's going to save the company money, but tracking their trucks and all that kind of jazz, if the trucks are only going a couple kilometers, is it really a concern that they know where they are within the mine? Like, did anyone tell you that was a problem? Like, are they losing trucks, or are they like?
No, sorry about that. Putting the sensors on the above ground transportation trucks was initially obviously to track the inventory, but underneath, like inside the mine itself, yes, it is very important to know where the equipment is, especially if you were to have an accident. It is important to know where they are, but also to attach these sensors to the equipment was also for remote access and to determine when maintenance needs to occur. It's for more of that aspect. Also safety purposes, they have a lot of very valuable assets in the mining industry, so being able to track them, whether underneath the mine or above, is very important.
Considering that the mining industry as a whole is looking to invest $140 billion in the next 10 years, after talking to Anthony McCooch, we told him that the prices, and he was astonished by how small the price was for all the benefits that they would receive as a result of that. So he was jumping on board right away.
So would you recommend changing our pricing policy?
I personally would, to be quite honest, and especially if you're going after this industry and providing the service that you would,
Yeah.
I would go higher, especially if they're looking to invest that much.
there was two things I found. We actually looked at the mining industry, and other things I found. Great presentation, by the way. And, one, just to enhance one on safety.
Yep.
Depending on the type of mining, especially if it's blasting,
Yes.
they need to know where the personnel is at all times to clear. So by wearing a tag or an ID badge, we're able to tell them where they are and prevent any kind of safety issues. And the second one I mentioned, I think I might have mentioned in some of our discussions before about detecting blood alcohol content.
Yes.
Sensor. And we have approached some industries, and interesting enough, some of the comments coming back were that if we were to implement that, they would have no drivers in the morning. And so there's a little bit of resistance, depending on where mining
That's interesting.
tends to be remote locations,
Yes.
and there's a lot of drinking. And just a point of interest, but thank you.
But it's a good point.
I think we need to talk to that job. The cooch.
Oh, and, yeah, sorry.
If I could, I'd like to flip back around. I found it interesting that you found it to be a very technical product. You talked to the industry, and yet you thought there was the opportunity to buy online, or folks would just come and buy online with e-commerce. That was a bit of a disconnect to me. How did you make those leaps?
So I can talk about that. The idea for that was for people who already have an account open with the company itself, and then be able to continue purchasing or just make payments through an online system that was much easier, rather than having to contact through your sales reps and purchase through that way. Just making it a little simpler for them to purchase additional units or make payments
For
through that.
existing clients as opposed to.
Yes, yes. So you'd open an account with you guys and set that up through online.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.